Experience Audio presents the unabridged recording of Hello Love by Karen McQuestion, performed by Dan John Miller. To my beautiful niece, Michelle, who always brings the levity. Chapter 1. The little dog waited, ears rising expectantly with the passing of every car, her eyes never leaving the door. Dan stood and watched her for a second before whistling to break the spell, but she still didn't move. "Come over here, girl," he urged. "No point in waiting." Annie heard him. He was sure of it. He even suspected she understood every word. She was one smart dog, more intuitive than a lot of people. Annie was a mixed breed, with the floppy ears and nose of a beagle, and the short coat and tan coloring of a dachshund. A mutt by design, but a champion at heart. If Annie knew the futility of waiting by the door, she just didn't want to believe it. Dan crouched down and rubbed behind her ears, and when she looked up at him with her big, compelling, liquid eyes, there was understanding between them. "It's okay, girl," he said. "It's okay." But it wasn't okay. The idea that Christine was never coming back just wasn't right. His wife had been the hub of their lives. The house had been ingrained with her footsteps. The walls still held echoes of her laughter. And there had been a lot of laughter. But that was before. Proof of her existence was everywhere. The grocery list stuck to the front of the refrigerator, her jacket on the hook by the back door, the book she'd been reading still askew on the end table, a tasseled bookmark holding her place. He'd flip the kitchen calendar and see appointments written in her handwriting and reminders to visit her former boss, Nadine, a difficult woman who'd had a series of strokes and now lived full-time in a medical care facility. Christine was good that way, loyal, always thinking about others. "It's no big deal," she'd say when Dan would call her a saint. But he knew it was a big deal. Most people couldn't be bothered, but Christine wasn't most people. The funeral had been unreal, a nightmare he hadn't been able to wake up from. Life wasn't supposed to go like this. He'd always envisioned that he'd be the first to die, and with that in mind, had made sure there was enough life insurance for Christine and their daughter Lindsay to be financially secure. But of course, he'd also imagined that would be far in the future, when they were old.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?